Welcome to the Polytopian Interview, where I interview people on their experiences and views on the Polytopia Discord community. I have Seb with me today. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
That's good to hear. Alright, I'm very curious. What was your first impression of me when I reached out to you about playing a Polytopia game?
So I recently just joined the Polytopia main Discord server, and you just sent me a random DM and I was a bit confused. But I was going to try to get into multiplayer anyway, so that was like a little head start.
Yeah, in my experience, a lot of newer players are confused. Especially me when I first started, because I didn't get into multiplayer until relatively recently. So we played a game, and then after I completely crushed you, what did that make you feel?
I was always gonna feel like a noob anyways, because I only played easy bots at that time. And the crazy and hard bots were just ridiculously hard to beat for me, because I had no idea of all the strategies and stuff.
Yeah, going from easy bots to a human player that mostly knows what they're doing is a pretty steep curve, let alone going from crazy bots to human.
Yeah, I agree on that.
So what was your initial impression of Friendly Polytopia? Was that one of your first servers that you joined besides main?
It actually was, yeah. It felt like a little family, to be honest. Not a lot of active people there, and you always see the same faces, like you, J.Fur, Disco. It felt like a little online family.
Yeah, that was part of the reason why I made it, because, main is nice, but like a lot of things, it has its drawbacks, like you have a ton of people, but there's so many people that, So I was like, I'm just going to make my own, but hey, let's not go into about me too much. This is your interview. You went into the training program. Could you tell us your experience on that? It could be with me or as a whole.
So you matched me up with Netto, and I was sure, why not? So then we started talking, and initially we played 1v1s, but we'll get to that a bit later. But overall, my experience as a trainee was pretty good. I learned a ton of stuff, and I think I really improved. At least a mile, or whatever you want to say.
By a lot, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, with your training, mostly with 1v1s, is that what brought you to your view of doing team games, playing with the trainer instead of against them?
The trainee is obviously not as good as the mentor, and in my case especially, I had literally no idea about any form of strategies or openings or tactical planning ahead and stuff. I just went with feeling mostly. And I think in that case, the mentor is always gonna crush you. No matter what you do. Even if you get like 5 giants from ruins or something, you just can't really stand a chance. When we then decided to play 2v2, I got all the insight of his strategies and planning ahead and stuff, which really helped me.
Yeah, of course. This interview is definitely going to help me inspire to help improve the training program.
Yeah. And the good thing as well is he let me give my ideas first, and then he said what he would do, which actually blew my mind at that time, because I had never thought of this stuff before. Like going towards the center, obviously before moonrise was a bit more important than now. Yeah, that actually blew my mind, and it was so fun to play with him.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't initially set up the training programs like that was because A, it started off with only me doing it, and B, I had a bunch of other games and other responsibilities, so I couldn't exactly go, okay, let's do a team game. Who are we going to go against? I have no idea. I don't have a system for that, really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So with the extra framework, teams can be very, very good, especially with ranked.
Yeah, nowadays you have enough people to do those 2v2s.
That brings me perfectly to my next question. So you're on the Narwhals. What's experience with being on the team?
So I got a DM from J.Fur a few days before the draft I was in, and he gave me some puzzles and stuff. I didn't really have a preference which team I would like to join, but he was the first to DM me, and I don't know why. I just felt kind of obligated to join the Narwhals then. Not saying that's a bad thing.
Sounds like a really good tactic.
And I was the first person to get drafted in that draft, so that makes me even more happy at that time. Then I started playing a few games with some people. One of them is still going to this day.
Wow.
I think. Yeah, because Wither kept timing out after a while.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I joined too late for Season 8, but I still got a game because we lost so many people in Season 8, and games were restarting and stuff. But this season I'm fully involved. I already have like 4 or 5 season games going.
That's quite a bit.
It's a ton of fun. The people are all amazing. All the discussions are so civil and everyone gives their insight all the time. It's absolutely amazing.
On Polychamps, you're a Nova helper as well as a bullet director. What are some of your responsibilities that you have with those roles?
First about the bullet director, because I got that first. They recently did a second bullet tournament, and I got the bullet director just before. So my responsibilities were to keep track of the bracket and the games, tell people in which voice channels they are supposed to be in, and stream and stuff. And the helper roles I got very recently. I'm supposed to help with staff help requests, help the Novas find their way through Polychamps. I know it's quite difficult and irritating. I know from experience, just whenever help is needed, I'm there. Try to help with everything I can.
Okay. How do you usually interact with the Polytopia Discord community throughout the week?
There's just a few servers I'm really active on. Polychamps, Dragon server, and Friendly Polytopia. And there's a few where I'm not as active as, like the main one for Giants League. Giants League I joined because Netto told me about it, but I came late for the current season. And Polymane is such a mess, to be honest. So many people. I have almost every category muted there.
Yeah, Maine is Maine and has a lot of stuff, and the tricky part about tournaments is you can join, but they could have just started one, and then you have to wait a long time to be in the next tournament. And then when you're in one, it can take some time for stuff to go along.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's why there's quite a few tournament servers, but there's just not as many that went through the test of time.
Yeah, just makes sense to have smaller tournaments.
There was a user that on Friendly Polytopia, their name started with a K. They kept timing out, yet they started their own tournament server. But if I remember correctly, you weren't in that. Yeah, that was pretty early on.
Which Discord server is that?
I don't remember anymore. All I remember is he kept timing out, and eventually he got kicked because he was inactive for too many games.
Interesting.
So for finding games, where do you usually go, besides for ranked season games?
I've started to play 1v1s on main, or 1v2s on ranked, but either the people keep timing out or take forever to play their turn, like 3 people in a game and it takes 1 day for each turn. So I kind of got bored of main recently. Mostly I play with people in Friendly Polytopia or in Polychamp 4v4, 5v5s.
Yeah, I'm in a 5v5 with you right now, and it takes a while because it has 10 people.
Yeah, that's true. But it's fun.
So what would you say your favorite tribe is?
That is likely the most difficult question for me to answer, because I think I'm pretty decent with every tribe, except like the useless ones, like Wenger, Aquarion kind of
Aww.
lame. But the Tridentions are pretty cool. So,
yeah, it just takes quite a while to get to that point, and by the time you get to that, you're not helping your teammate or teammates, and then you're dead. Usually.
Yeah. But recently I'm a big fan of Zinzi. Because of the metal buff. Yeah. There is level 3 or 4 forges, you just get giants going no end. It's kind of even better than Zabasi sometimes.
Yeah, if you get to that point. Usually, though, you're at the point of a few giants and swordsmen, and then the other tribes come with different types of units.
Well, yes, that makes them the unique tribes, obviously.
Do you have a least favorite tribe?
I think Wenger, Omaji, and of the kind of useful tribes, I think Imperius is my least favorite, because it's so inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Imperius is a nice tier 0 tribe where you can upgrade your capital on turn 0, but it has some forests, some animals, some farms, and then it's just a little of everything.
Yeah, so you gotta buy a lot of tax to even get to level 3 or 4 or 5, which makes it kinda inconvenient.
Do you have a favorite strategy?
Lately I've been playing Polaris a lot, with the sawmill strat, so to just get armies literally in every city, basically, and just freeze up everything. I played a 1v1 against a Luxador player, and he had customs houses and everything, and then just throws all of his battleships slowly march through.
Yeah, that's the thing with Polaris. Once it's to like turn 25, turn 30 or so, all they have to do is come in with their gammies and freeze everything.
Yup. Very annoying if you don't get rid of it early.
Yeah. What's the most memorable tribe you've ever played?
I think it has to be Luxador from the first 2v2 I played with Netto. I had an amazing spawn. I think I had 6 or 7 cities on my continent.
Wow.
And I basically destroyed Thomas, who was playing border, and we had like 4 or 5 cities. I just got my battleships, was over by turn 15, I think.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, but I had a great spawn.
Okay. How many games do you usually play at once?
I think my usual game count is over 20 at the same.
Wow. Most of them like non-ranked or ranked kind of casual like main?
I would say it's like 30% ranked, 30% for fun, and 30% for seasonal.
Okay. What would be your most favorite part of the Polytopia fandom on Discord as a whole?
I think just the people overall. I've seen basically no toxicity anywhere. Everyone is so chill and helpful. I just feel cozy and at home almost.
All right. Well, it was nice speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Anytime. It was nice hanging out and answering some questions about my past.
No problem. Bye.
Yep.
As always, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share it. For the text version, you can join my Discord in the description. I also have a YouTube channel where I play 1v1s and occasionally do tutorials. We'll be back next week. Bye!